Alright, what is up people? Welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're actually going to be checking out a gameplay trailer that was released for a boxing game that is in development right now, a boxing game called Esports Boxing Club. Now, full disclosure, I do not know much about this game. I just recently learned about the game for some reason. I haven't heard about it. I didn't hear about it until very recently, and I haven't actually gone into a lot of research when it comes to this game, just because I try not to get my hopes up too much these days. Anytime I hear that there's a new boxing game coming out, I just kind of assume that it's being made by fans. It's not being made by like a AAA company with the ability to actually make something that will be a worthy product. So I kind of just ignore it. But after seeing this trailer, I'm a little bit excited. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and play it. I am not going to play the audio at all, just because it has a bunch of copyrighted music there, and I do not want my channel to get taken down. But as you guys can see, these graphics right here are actually impressive. It really is. Of course, it's not the most incredible graphics we've ever seen in a video game, but I mean, some of these shots, you take a look at them, and it actually looks like real life boxing footage. And this whole entire trailer is focused on locomotion. It's focused on movement to showcase what they've done with fighter movement. It's not really trying to focus on punches or the punch animation or anything like that. But you do see some of it as you watch this trailer. And I'm gonna go ahead and, once it's done, I'm gonna replay it again. I'm gonna pause it at some points and just talk about my thoughts on it, because just from looking at it, and right there it's over. From just looking at this footage, man, it looks good. It looks good. Most of what I see looks pretty goddamn good. So right away, the question that I have is, one, what is going to be under your control? What's going to be under the player's control? Because a lot of the movement that I see right there, is it animated per the fighter? A few questions that I have. Or is this something that you can actually control? For example, the way Connor Ben right here is moving forward, leaning to the left and leaning to the right. Let's go ahead and replay that. And I'm going to take out a small section of this, and I'm going to slow down certain parts of it so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So right there, I'm going to pull this right here, stretch that out, and right there, you see the way he's moving forward. He shifts to the left, shifts to the right. The question I have is, when you see movement like that, what is that? Is that like in UFC 4, where you have the ability to move forward while you move your head, right? They've not really gone into the gameplay mechanics, so we don't really know how the game is going to work. We don't know what the controls will be. But when I see stuff like this, right, I see the fighter moving forward and shift left and shift right. That looks very natural. It looks extremely natural. You take a look at the feet. There is no sliding whatsoever. I'm not seeing any sliding. You can see the weight shifting very realistically. The way the hand is swinging as he moves forward, it's all very realistic. So is this going to be how you move forward with head movement in the game? And is it also going to be fighter specific? All right, we keep it going. And in this next clip right here, let's see. You notice this fighter on the right here. What I love about the movement he displayed right there is he starts with a little see, he starts with a hop, and then he gets into an actual walk-in locomotion style. Let's play that again right there. He hops, and then locomotion style. He does it right there again. And I'm also noticing, when I take a look at the way these fighters are moving, I'm noticing different speeds of movement, which kind of tells me that we might be able to feather. By the way, this game is going to be available on PC, Xbox One, and also PlayStation 4. That's what I'm hearing. And when I see the fighter moving, he does the little hop right there, and then locomotion as he actually walks. That looks pretty goddamn good to me. Then he settles. And right there, the speed of his movement in this next clip, you can see it's a little bit slower. It's a little bit slower and more deliberate, which is, again, leads to my question. Are we going to be able to feather this stick a little bit and have the fighter move slower and slower? And perhaps if we hold the left stick all the way, the fighter increases his speed. I'm trying to see if I can get into what the game mechanics would be just from watching the trailer. I know I'm looking a little bit too much into it, but I tend to do that. And then you see this little Arturo Gatti right here. The way it looked like a feint. Let's go ahead and watch that again. See that? What you just did right there? Is this all part of just the natural movement? Like once you hold the left stick, all these different animations will play on its own independent of the player? Or are these things that you can control? Perhaps this little bump, this Dominic Cruz style bump that he did right there, perhaps it's an actual feint that you as a player can control. I don't know. And right there, hands down in conventional stance. See, he walks. Look at this. This part starts off with him walking, and then immediately switches right back to a faster paced style of movement. And I find all that very, very interesting. Look at that again. Forward on this fighter right here. And then watch the way he's going to bump or shift his weight to his right there. Right away. What is that? Is that a feint? Is that you just flicking your left stick in that direction? And is that the animation that's going to play? The way he shuffle steps backwards right there. Like, what is all this? How does this work? That's what I'm very curious about. Are we going to be able to control? And then right there, you see a punch animation that is not the best. Like when it comes to the punch animations, I gotta say I'm a little bit worried just because they all pretty much look very stiff. I'll play that again. Play that punch animation again. Yeah, it's like looping, the way he loops his right hand, and then he's not keeping his left hand guard up at all as he throws that. Just doesn't look too good. But see, look at this movement right here. I'm gonna go ahead and slow this part down here so you guys see if I can show you exactly what I'm talking about here, because there's a lot of things that I'm seeing that I have questions about, like the little bounce to the right, bounce to the left, bounce to the right. What is that? Is that an animation that plays if your fighter is completely idle? Is that an animation that you can trigger on your own as the player? Like, can we, for example, let's say that I am controlling this fighter right here, right? And I have my controller. Can I perform this movement right here by shifting my left stick, left, right? Is that how it works? I would love to finally see if all this is just an animation that plays independent of the player, or if these are animations that we can control ourselves. You see, look at the way he comes forward. He ducks down, almost like he's about to perform. He's clearly moving his head and he's lowering his base. You can see that he's bending his knees, lowers the base, shift to his left with his hands completely down. It's like, what is all that? Look at this. See the little bump right there to the boom. Is that a fake? Is that a feint? Like, you flick the stick forward a little bit and the fighter kind of fake charges the opponent. Is that what this is? And there you go. You see some punch animations. That's a jab. It's a jab. And the cross that gets slipped right there. And then see right there, this one's very, very interesting to me. Another question that I have, again, most of my questions is going to revolve around, are these fakes or are these animations going to play independent of each other? I'm going to go ahead and slow this down so you can see the question I have with this clip right here. So right here, it looks like he feints. You see that? It looks like he feints a left hook. Watch this again. Left hook feint, and then follows up with a very odd arm I mean, I guess you'd call that a cross. I mean, it almost looks like a right hook, but to be honest, if we're gonna be very honest, the punch animations just don't look like they have any power to it. Of course, the fact that there are hit reactions that try to sell the punch, that's very good, because even if the animation itself doesn't look like he rotates his hips and doesn't look like he really puts a lot of firepower behind that shot, the fact that the fighter he hits actually has a visceral reaction that you can see sells that, okay, this punch is a heavy punch. Right there, he hits him, boom, clear hit reaction right there, which is very good. They're putting some thought into that. Keep that going. And then right here, that's most likely a taunt. See, arms out. I love it. And then I'm also taking a look at like below right there. Like right there, Conor Benn, Arturo Gatti. It looks like he was just blasting away at this man's body. As you can see, left body, right body. Very interesting, right? Very interesting. It looks like different sides of your torso is going to sustain damage differently. Like you'll be able to sustain damage on the right side, and you'll be able to sustain damage on the left side, and perhaps that's going to have, my suspicion is this is in relation to stamina somehow, this bar right here. That's what I would guess. Or perhaps that is head health. I don't know. It doesn't really tell us right there, but as you can see, that clearly says left body, right body. And it looks like this man, it looks like Arturo was just taking a beating right there. He's bleeding, and then as he was taking a beating, boom, he lands a left hook. A left hook that, again, on its own, watch this, on its own, doesn't really look like that shot had a lot of power to it. Perhaps because he's already gassed out. That's probably what this is. But at the very least, the fighter that he hits sells it very well. It's one thing that I'm happy that they're paying very close attention to. When he hits him, you'll notice the hit reaction right there. Boom. That's a clean left hook. And right there, the way he shakes out his hand. What is that? Is that a taunt? Left hook. I don't know if this left hook even landed. Hold on. Tell me that missed completely. No, it landed a little bit. There was a small, very small hit reaction. Not very noticeable. I would like to see them, make that a little bit more realistic. There's an uppercut right there. Another left hook. Much better hit reaction. Oh my God, look at this clip right here. What is this? See, again, questions that I have, because is this going to play automatically, right? Is this like an inbuilt reaction? The question is, this reaction he has right here where he lifts up both arms, pulls his torso back to make the right hook miss completely, and then he turns around and looks around like, "Were you trying to hit me?" That's a taunt that we see all the time in boxing, right? What triggers this in the actual game? Is this something that you can do yourself, or is this automatic? Like, are we going to see every single fighter in the game doing this every single time you make them miss a body shot? You see what I'm getting at? These are the questions that I have. That looks really nice, and I love the fact that we can also double up with the same arm combo. As you can see right there, he hits him with a rear uppercut, and with the same arm blasts him with a cross. Beautiful hit reaction right there, really selling you that shot was heavy. Even though the actual punch animation didn't look like he put a lot of power, into that. The shoulder rotation is really not there, and the arm didn't really extend. See that? It's kind of a very short punch, but he sold it really well. Keep that going. And then right there, he's rocked. That tells you what the fighter kind of looks like when he's rocked, wobbly. His hands are still up. Interesting. A lot of this looks good. A lot of it looks really good. But once again, man, as anytime I see a video game like this, like a video game where you can just tell that, again, it's not a AAA company that's making, it's not a multi-million-dollar company making a video game, even though this looks like it was expensive to make. I mean, these graphics are gorgeous, you know. But anytime it's like, what exactly is the funding, you know, for this? What will the game mechanics be like? Is it going to be fleshed out? Are we actually going to eventually see a release date? I mean, there's this Muay Thai, this really, really nice looking Muay Thai game that has been in development for the past, I don't know, 20 years at this point. We've not seen anything near a release date for that. But so far what we're hearing is that Esports Boxing Club is going to come out sometime this year on PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. And now that I know about this game, I'm gonna try to follow it. I'm gonna try to look up as much information as I can on it, see if I can figure out who's actually making the video game, and see if there's really anything to truly get excited about. I mean, so far, just from the graphics, just from the locomotion that we've seen, the movement that we've seen, it does not look bad. It is the most, I'll just put it this way, it is the most promising boxing video game that we have right now. There's nothing else. Everything else is either a complete arcade mess, a mobile game that is not worth playing, or Fight Night Champion, which came out years and years ago. I mean, this is very, very promising, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that whatever it is they're doing ends up being successful, because goddamn, we need a new boxing game. It would be really, really nice if I can have another game that I can play on this channel, you know, especially if the game mechanics and, you know, they clean. I mean, it's still an alpha, of course. Let's just keep that in mind. They're still gonna clean up the game. Hopefully, the punch animations look as good as the locomotion and the overall graphics that we're seeing right here. But man, that is it. Just wanted to bring this to you guys' attention. For those of you that have not heard or seen this game, let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. If you've been following this game, write a comment below. You know, educate us. Let us know who's making the game. Have they made any games before in the past? Is there anything that they've done in the past that we could probably go look at and compare this to and say, okay, these people are competent in making videos? Just educate us in the comment section if you can. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching, guys. You guys are amazing, and I'll see you later with a new video. As always, stay safe. Peace out.